Where are the prophets? Where are the visionaries? Where are the poets to breach the dawn of the sentimental mercenaries? They are the repeating lines of the end of a song from about 1983, if I remember correctly, called Fugazi, by a group called Marillion, and certainly the lead singer, who I believe is the lyricist, or was the lyricist of that band, is one of those prophets and one of those poets. But what is a sentimental mercenary? The easiest way to explain that is in terms of which way you lean on the political spectrum. So a sentimental mercenary from a more right-wing perspective may be seeing the past with rose-tinted spectacles and wishing things were the way they used to be. Or it can come out as a more left-wing protest against things, raging against inequalities and such like. So I invite you to look at the song, and somebody who clearly had a deep understanding, looking only at the negative aspects and matching up different compilations to the words of this song, Fugazi. Now, it may be that you have imported a lot of the visions through the media and things, or maybe in your own life you are in a sort of negative state about things, fearful, worried, concerned, and so on. That's where I can help you. I offer one-to-one personal tarot card readings, which will tell you where you're at. The details are in the description under this video. But what you'll often find, well, for a start, there is an art in everything, and what you'll often find is the truth is often obscure and tucked away. Readily I can think of anatomically correct depictions of dinosaurs side by side with human beings, which is not something that is encouraged by the accepted narrative that dinosaurs, which are just large reptiles, where the conditions of Earth were right for these creatures to grow to enormous sizes. But where are the poets? Well, not only Marillion, we can go further back to about 1980, 81. And the jury is not out on this one, and it is in the form of someone who was a wordsmith. Now, people have said to me, oh, you're a wordsmith. Well, if I was a wordsmith, I would have probably been able to write this song I'm going to talk you through. And I'll put a link in the description. But I feel it is worth going over the lyrics as much as anything else. The speed that the song is sung makes it difficult to actually hear some of the words clearly and what is portrayed. It's interesting that it contains tap dancing and a harmonica. So you've got breathing being shown there. Tap dancing requires the feet, so therefore it is referencing the soul. Now, is it any coincidence that this song, it's just an album song, so unless you had an interest in this group, you probably will have never have heard of it. It's an album track called Dance of the Crackpots, from an album called Laughter. So we'll just go through the lyrics of the song. So it begins with verse 1. Oh, let's get up and let's get excited. It's a public party and you're all invited. Let's cut the custard, see the mustard. Please hold steady till we're maladjusted. Sing boopity-boo, sing twiddle-dee-dee. Invite the Germans home for tea. let them mock and let them sneer. The wise young crackpot knows no fear. And verse 2, the emancipation that's sweeping the nation when it seems that the world was sunk. You can bet your boots on your own pursuits. History is bunk. From Rosemary Clooney to Jerry Lee Lewis, from Debussy to Thelonious Monk, it's the modern art of the human heart, the shape of things to funk. Funk, funk. And verse 3, let's see you do it, you always knew it, it's totally impossible to misconstrue it. In sight of the fact and in spite of the fashion, living is a laptop animated passion. Pay no attention to the bones of contention, do the new age boogie for the old age pension. Let them stop and let them snore, where get madder, we were warned. And verse 4, motivation is the new sensation, the fantasy that keeps you fit. On the human assumption, you got the gumption, get up and do your bit. Being daft is a therapy craft, which sharpens up your wits. Totally enthusiastic about the music and the place, and it shows in the face you sit, sit, sit. And then it repeats the second verse again. Oh, let's get up and let's get excited. It's a public party and you're all invited. Let's cut the custard, see the mustard. Please hold steady till we're maladjusted. Sing boobity-boo, sing twiddle-dee-dee. Invite the Germans home for tea. Let them mock and let them sneer. Wise young crackpots know no fear. Emancipation that's sweeping the nation. Worldwide atomic funk. You can bet your boots on your own pursuits. History is bunk. So it's Dance of the Crackpots is the name of the song. Well, readily I can think of something Alan Watts said. What is life? It is like a dance. It is not about getting from one point to another. It is about enjoying the moment. It is about recognizing that this experience in this physicality is just something we're passing through. So it's a dance. Now, certainly from the perspective of the majority, if you are advocating certain things from the truth-seeking perspective, or even the spiritual perspective, the New Age perspective, you will come across as a crackpot to the majority, because they have a very different view of this reality. But as this song says, the wise young crackpot knows no fear. Now, young doesn't refer to your physical age, it's being young inside. It is all about how you feel. You can bet your boots on your own pursuits. History is bunk. What it is telling you is to go your own way, a term which is called an errant. Do your own thing. Don't pick a side. Don't get involved in all this external stories. That's what it's enticing you to do continuously. It's offering you a script to pick a side. But there comes a realization when things don't add up that history is bunk, the way we're told it is anyway. A very interesting line here is, it's the modern art of the human heart. If I was to amend this song, I would take the third verse where it goes, let's see you do it, you always knew it, which is referencing your intuition, listening to that gut feeling. It's totally impossible to misconstrue it. Certainly is when you open up that dialogue, because it is all an inside job. It is learning the communication of the body and from the gut, your Christ consciousness. In sight of the fact, so it's insight, having that internal sight. And in spite of the fashion, that could be any current media story which would seem to be fashionable, which is encouraging you to follow. Pay no attention to the bones of contention. So where are we? So where it says living is a laptop animated fashion, I would say living is an act of animated passion, going with what your heart, where your interest is, what you feel passionate about, going your own way, being that errant. And again, a wise young crackpot knows no fear, because it is fear that will hold you back. So hopefully that has given you an introduction to something you've probably never heard of. And if you have, you've probably never heard it explained in that way. So that said, in a forthcoming video, because I have several that are just settling in the mind, we will get on to the very clear distinction between songs and music, which the boundaries have been blurred, so songs are classed as music, but there is a huge distinction between the two. I'll explain that in another video. But as a reminder again, if you are struggling anyway, I can help you to look at the situation that you're in with a new set of eyes, a new perspective, which is revealed through the art that comes through in the tarot cards. Because there is an art in everything. Art is also subjective. There are certain things where you could say has a certain artistry. You don't have to have a liking or a dislike for that actual piece of art, whatever it may be. Excuse me. But it is the recognition of there is an art in everything, and art is the true journalist of what is going on in this external physical world. It is a commentary on things. So do check out the very perceptive video that is attached to the song Fugazi. And I'll put a link for the song Dance of the Crackpots as well. It's a bit of sort of light relief, but it's not what I call music, but it does contain profound messages, which I hope I have been able to convey to you. Ian Dury was, I acknowledge, as being a true wordsmith, and also fish from Marillion. There were giants in those days and also after. Well, physically, Fish from Marillion was about 6'4", so he does appear to be a giant. And so profound, the lyrics of those Marillion songs, particularly on the album Script for a Jester's Tear, and also the following album Fugazi, from which this song Fugazi takes its name. I invite you to look at those, and if you would so wish me to, I can give you further insights into what is revealed in these songs. It's not just the lyrics, like the Dance of the Crackpots, using the tap dancing. It's referencing the soul. It is something to internalize and weigh up inside oneself with everything that you observe. After all, are signs not given to you by day as well as by night? You can look up at the night sky and you can see the constellations. You can see where you're at from that, but there are probably more numerous signs given to you by the day. It's just whether we have the perception, the eyes to see and the ears to hear, and that intuitive feeling that will reveal so much in what can seem the most unlikely places, like this song, Dance of the Crackpots. So with that, as always, unconditional love to you all.